The town that watches you, the chilling mystery of Nagoro, Japan. Imagine walking through a quiet mountain village. The air is still. The streets are empty. You pass an old schoolhouse, its windows cracked, the walls covered in ivy. At first it looks abandoned, but then you see them, figures sitting in the classrooms, their heads tilted, their glassy eyes staring at the blackboard. You keep walking. A shop stands at the corner, its door slightly ajar. Inside, behind the counter, a woman stands completely still, frozen in time. Her hands rest on the register as if she's waiting for a customer. But she is not real. None of them are. This is Nagoro, Japan, the town of disappearing people. No one knows exactly why the real villagers left, but one woman stayed behind and she is replacing them, one by one. Nagoro wasn't always like this. Decades ago, it was a thriving little town hidden deep in the valleys of Japan. Families lived here for generations. Children played in the streets. The local school echoed with laughter. Then something changed. The official story is that people left because of economic decline. When factories shut down, jobs disappeared, and families had no choice but to move away. But if that were the case, why did so many leave without a trace? Some houses were left in perfect condition, furniture still in place, food still in the cupboards, even clothes folded neatly on beds. It was as if the town had been evacuated in a single night. For years, no one paid attention to Nagoro. It was just another forgotten town in the countryside. But then, the dolls appeared. The first dolls showed up slowly, a few here, a few there. No one thought much of it. But as the years passed, more of them appeared, in fields, at bus stops, inside abandoned homes. Some were standing, others were sitting in chairs, positioned like they were frozen in time, and every single one of them looked exactly like a person who used to live there. The only person left in the village was a woman named Tsukimi Ayano. She was the one making the dolls. At first, she said it was a way to honor the people who had left. She didn't want their memory to fade, but then things got stranger. When journalists asked her how many villagers originally lived here, she hesitated. "I don't remember exactly," she said. She just kept making new dolls. Some were for real villagers. Others, no one knew who they were supposed to be. Some visitors claimed they've even seen her making dolls of people she has never met. Travelers who pass through the town, tourists who stop to take pictures. One day they visit. The next there's a doll that looks just like them. People who have visited Nagoro report something unsettling. They say the town feels wrong. One man who passed through described it as being watched, even when no one was there. He took photos of the empty schoolhouse, but when he checked them later, there were figures sitting at the desks that weren't there before. Others claim they've heard whispers. At night, when the wind is still, they say you can hear voices in the distance. Some say it's just the mountains echoing sound, but others aren't so sure. A filmmaker once planned to spend the night in Nagoro for a documentary. He set up cameras and settled into an abandoned house. At 3 a.m. he left without his gear, without explanation. He refused to talk about what happened, but the next day Tsukimi made a new doll, a young man holding a camera. No one knows why. There's an old story, one that locals in the nearby towns don't like to tell. It says that long ago, before people started leaving Nagoro, something else lived in the mountains, something that watched from the trees. Some believe that the villagers didn't leave because of the economy. They left because they saw something they weren't supposed to see. And those who stayed behind, maybe they never really left. Some claim that Tsukimi isn't making dolls at all, that she is simply giving the missing people new bodies. That's why they sit in the schoolhouse, the stores, the fields. That's why they are always watching. And the scariest part, she's still making more. Today, Nagoro is more famous than ever. Tourists visit out of curiosity. They take pictures, they walk through the town, but no one stays overnight. The last traveler who tried said he woke up to the feeling of someone standing over him. But when he turned on the light, there was no one there. Only a new doll sitting outside the door, watching, waiting. Would you dare visit Nagoro? Or do you think the truth behind the village is something better left unknown? Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you ever pass through a quiet town, make sure the people around you are really people, because in Nagoro they're not. Like, subscribe and share for more creepy mysteries.